Hi everyone, welcome to Mind Your Business. I am Amma Duncan. I'm a corporate trainer, business coach, and founder of the Fabulous Woman Network. You know how some women really want to start their own businesses, but they don't know how or even where to start from? Well, I help new women in business to plan, execute, and achieve their business goals. And that includes starting your own business. For instance, one of my clients who just had this great idea of what to start, she was confused. She was like, how do I even go about it? How do I find my target market? And all these questions. I help women like that. And if you're such a woman, I will be happy to help you too. Just reach out. Now, today on Mind Your Business, which is a show I bring on Tuesdays at 12 noon GMT on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is the Fabulous Woman Network, where you're watching this. Today, I get to interview one of my favorite coaches to follow on LinkedIn. Well, we started off from Facebook and then now on LinkedIn. Her name is Veronica, and she's going to teach us so much about finding our purpose. If this is you, if you're at a stage in your life where you need to clarify your purpose and then know even the steps to take once you find that, this interview is for you. Let me read Veronica's bio of my phone. Right. So she's Veronica Safoa Owusu, also known as VPower Coach. Veronica is the founder of VPowerCoaching.com and the Impact Course Creation Academy. She turns personal growth coaches, consultants, and creatives in fearless warriors on a mission to make a difference in the world. Yep. Veronica helps them unearth their gold dust, that is knowledge, experiences, untold stories, passion, and package them into a transformational online course, right? And so she does this so that they can grow a thriving coaching business, become the specialists in their field whilst having an impact in the world. With a master's degree in educational sciences and over 10 years of experience working as an educator, Veronica has created hundreds and hundreds of lesson plans and courses, designed dozens of program development schemes, and executed educational programs that have helped achieve targeted skills in students and adults. In addition to being a trained personal growth coach, Veronica has been mentored online by some of the world's best success coaches, such as Jack Canfield and Brian Tracy. Veronica is on a mission to turn millions of passionate business owners like Amma Duncan, entrepreneurs and experts into fearless warriors that want to serve their tribe more powerfully with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps there's a gentleman watching. I know this interview will be of value to you. Watch it, and when you're done, let me know in the comment what your biggest takeaway has been. So ladies, let's head over to this conversation with Veronica, the Power Coach. This is so exciting for me to have you face to face like this. It's been 3, 4, 5 years since we
5 years, Amma. It's too long.
We've been meaning to do this forever, and I'm really
know
that we have this opportunity today. Thank you.
What I love about this really, Amma, is that even though it's been 5 years, we have been observing each other's growth. We have been interacting. I've been observing you, and it's so beautiful to see you blossom and flourish and that impact you're having. So we're there in spirit, right?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Yes, and I've been observing you as well. And girl, your dance moves like every time. So like every time I see you dancing, I'm like, I want some of her thighs. Like, and you know, I really try to exercise, but I see the way mine is. I'm like, listen, young lady, just be okay with yours, okay?
That's it. That is it. We have to be okay with where we are at. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I still can admire yours because I think they're so firm, and when you dance, you're so smooth. I'm like, oh God, look at
that. Can you see me blushing? Can you see the blush? Or is it?
But seriously though, tell me, you know what? I think you're one of the coolest coaches alive. And I'm sure you know that. You probably get that. I love that you do your videos and you imitate all these funny stuff. I mean, I just go on there to watch and, you know, happy myself, really, and your dance moves and all. And I see your videos, especially on LinkedIn, having so many views. I'm like, she's killing it. Tell me, let's start from your dance moves. What makes you decide, you know what, I am a dancer. I love to dance. Let my people see.
Are you going to dance today? Where's the music? Did you bring the music? Are you prepared?
So tell us, how did we get
here? So, oh boy, so when I started the dancing, it was by chance. It was, you know, a few years ago, and it was New Year's Eve, and I was at a friend's spending the New Year's, and we did this dancing into the new year kind of thing, right? And I was like, let me just wish my community Happy New Year with a dance. And the response was overwhelming. It was like, wow, there's nothing like that happening on LinkedIn. This is like breaking all the rules of LinkedIn.
Yes.
So it did give me, I built the community, I built lots of connections, started reaching out. So I kind of started paying attention. It's like, I do love dancing, something that I've always loved doing. How can I incorporate that in how I show up authentically, and how I give people more of who I am beyond just the labels? So the whole dancing started from there that time. And frequently, especially on Fridays, I have always a message behind the dancing video. So I've incorporated my passion for performing arts, where I do the comedy things, and into the messaging of me as a deep dive mindset coach and an online course creation strategist, and all these things together. So there's a whole business strategy, Amma, towards the dancing. People want to know who you are, and not about your services or, you know, your products. That's secondary.
Exactly.
The primary thing is to build bridges for people to cross over to you, connect with you, vibe with you, and then they are interested in, okay, so what exactly does she do? And then they find out, and when they have a need that relates to what you do, you're the go-to person because they connect with you. So my building of the communities through dance, through performing arts, because that's just how I am. And that's a big part of it.
Absolutely. And I mean, that right there is a message on its own. Like, we could actually end this conversation here and people will still have huge take homes, because I am having my own aha moment with you right now. So thank you. So now let's talk about how you became the VPower Coach. What's your story?
Wow. Well, you know, VPower was once VPowerless. Right? Yes, absolutely. And this is about 10 years ago. I remember, like today, I was standing in front of this pawnbroker shop selling my precious belongings because 2 of our companies had gone bankrupt. And that was all that was left. We'd sold the cars, we'd sold the furniture, we'd sold the equipment, everything was gone. We were left with nothing. So I remember, as I was handing over my precious belongings just so that we could pay the rent for that month, I heard that little voice, that whisper, like, Veronica, what on earth are you doing with your life? Like, are these the kind of choices you really want to be making? Right? What are your parents going to think about you? You know, is this how you want to show up for your children? I have 2 kids now. Then I didn't have any. And that voice, that was VPower, but she was caged. She was very much caged. So I say always, it was in that very moment I realized that, no, this is not what I want. These are not the choices I want to be making. This is not the life I want to be living. So I had realized I had been living somebody else's dreams, pretty much passively, just going with what other people wanted to do in life and would just tag along. I was a co-founder of the company, but pretty much taking the back seat most of the time, not feeling that I was good enough or smart enough to run the show. So I allowed other people to steer the wheel of the company into the rocks, pretty much. But I had to take responsibility as well, because inaction is also a choice.
Exactly.
And when I really realized that this is not what I wanted, I had to really unleash something within me. It was that day, I remember, that same week, by some divine force or divine destiny, I stumbled upon an audiobook,
Mm.
Conversations with God. Ironically, it wasn't anything religious, but definitely spiritual more so than anything else, by Neil Donald Walsh, or Donald Neil Walsh. And it really opened my eyes into the belief system, the paradigms, you know, the subconscious mind, universal principles. And I was like, whoa, had I created that that life, the whole situation? I was in the pawnbroker shop, all the breakdowns and all the bottom break, you know, the rock bottom moments, like, was that my creation? And the answer was, yeah, in many, many ways. I had created that. But the good news was, okay, if I had the ability to create that, then I can recreate what I wanted. Yes. I can recreate by, you know, planting new seeds of inspiration, new seeds of empowerment, and allowing them to reap, you know, the benefits later. So that was the beginning of my whole journey. And that's how VPower kind of came into life, came into form, and she evolved. And not everybody was happy with the new Veronica.
I am sure.
Yes, you know, I said no when I meant it. I set my boundaries. I was more confident of what I wanted, and if it didn't align with my values, it was not what I was going to do. And so you also build that confidence in who you are, because that is the source of confidence, when you know who you are. Because the truth, Amma, was answering this question, and if anybody's listening, ask yourself this question: if you lose every single thing that you have ever identified yourself with, what's left of you? That's what I had to face when I was in that pawnbroker shop. Nothing to my name. I used to be a business owner, no longer. I used to be a wife, no longer. I used to be, you know, all the labels just came crumbling down. You're a manager, you lose your job, you're no longer a manager. So who are you when everything that you have ever thought that was your identity ceased to exist today? So we are much more than the labels.
Wow.
So yeah, so fast forward, of course. Yeah.
All over me, all over me. That is such a powerful story. Losing everything, getting to that rock bottom. And that was where, well, finally, you perhaps paid attention to the voice that was always there anyway, saying,
absolutely,
lady, I'm here.
Yes, there are signs. We ignore the yellow flags until they turn red or even purple or whatever.
Exactly. It's always there calling us, but we are like, no, I'm too busy. I'm too busy. I'm too busy. And then finally they get our attention, and then we just go. And that's how, you know, you've just been going poof, 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 you know. And so
yeah.
Let's say there is somebody watching us at this minute and then thinking, oh, I am also at rock bottom now. I wish I could also find my purpose. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know who I am. Where does that person start from? Or maybe that person hasn't even hit rock bottom yet.
You don't even have to. It doesn't have to be that bad. Like you don't have to be.
Exactly. How does one person, I mean, how does one, and our audience is mostly women in business. How do we get to the point where we find our purpose?
Yeah. I call it the gold dust effect. Okay. And this is what I help my clients with, you know, when I'm doing the deep dive mindset coaching, or when I'm helping them with the deep dive course creation, part of my job. It's called the gold dust effect. We are made up of gold dust. What does that mean? Hallelujah. It's the essence. It's the essence of what we're made up. The G, the gold, we're made up of gifts and talents. The outcomes, we have achieved and we have accomplished different things in our lives, which we have no longer, which we no longer remember, or we have buried, or, you know, we don't even acknowledge. These are the things that we've accomplished in our lives, right? Our lost and found stories of experiences, stories of problems we have triumphed. That is part of who we are. We very often disregard all those experiences and bury them like they have no relevance to who we are today. They are part of us, and how we use it now is really important to finding the purpose, which I'm going to answer. You know, your burning desires, your experiences, your skills, your talents, your, your proof indicators in your life. What have you achieved in your life? What accomplishments, both personally and professionally? We always think it's always professional, right? Everything personal and all our triumphs have no significance. So I really call it the gold dust effect, where it means unearthing all your gold dust of past experiences, of skills, of talents, of lost and found stories, all of your passions. I had buried mine. When I became a coach, that was a whole different journey, because you're a coach. So what? Okay. Like, really, that was it. When I trained to become a coach, and okay, so what are you going to do now? Okay, where are the clients going to come from? Who are you going to serve? What is the mission? What is the purpose? So when I did my unearthing, I remember that, I was so ashamed of my past, the pawnbrokers, the 2 companies, bankrupt, all those things. Even I used to be a teacher for over 10 years back in Poland. I had buried that past when I became this coach. And it's only when I unearthed that gold dust of mine, my experiences, my stories, I brought back the skeletons from the wardrobe. I started to connect the dots and find my purpose or my mission here as a coach, because we have different purposes as a mother, as a daughter, or as a wife, or even as a business owner. So when we talk about professionally, I started to connect the dots, and I became very clear, like, wow, how come I didn't see this? My mission, looking at my experience as a teacher, I had over 84 million hours of teaching experience. And most of the time of those 84 million hours, I was creating lesson plans, courses, program development schemes. We'd go into organizations and would design courses for their departments, because Poland was very much into English speaking. They needed communication skills. So as an English speaking person, would go into and develop courses so that they can up-level their communication skills, because there are many international companies coming into the country. Anyways, but this was part of me, and I'd buried that. Can you imagine? And then I remember, okay, plus my deep dive mindset coaching skills, I'm going to combine them, plus my passion of unlocking potential and allowing people to live up to their highest potential. Those 3 things, it's like, I know it, I get it. I'm going to help my fellow friends, meaning my fellow coaches who've also are going through the struggle. I'm going to help them leverage their businesses. How? By crafting and developing and designing online, not just any kind of impactful online courses that they can use to make a greater impact in the world, because now they also have clarity on who you're serving, what your offer is, what the exact transformation they're delivering, because that was my struggle as a coach when I also became a coach. So that became my purpose. So answering your question, your purpose is not found in one day. You don't wake up and say, oh, this is my purpose. I finally got it. No, it takes a lot of digging and connecting the dots. So if you're looking for your purpose, it's in your gold dust. You need to look into that and connect the dots. What have you experienced that was so important for you? What triumphs or what problems have you overcome that you found a solution to, that you can now replicate and help other people do the same and give your life meaning and give your experiences meaning and purpose?
And it's so interesting how for a lot of us, these experiences we've gone through are so embarrassing that we would rather keep hiding them in the dirt, right? Like, no, the gold dust has to stay in the dirt. This is too embarrassing. People cannot find out that I went through X, like I went bankrupt, or I was divorced, or I'm not talking to my parents anymore. All these dirty little things that we think are dirty.
They actually sparkle when we change the perspective, because that is the whole essence of the value that has brought you to where you are today and who you are today. All those things, if they hadn't had happened, we would not be here today. So can you imagine how much value they have? And when we talk about authenticity and being authentic and being real and showing up as yourself, then how is keeping those things buried and hiding certain things that could serve others, could be an instrument of inspiration, you can use to empower others? Who are we to hold on to our stories. Like, who are we? I mean,
how dare we, right?
How dare you? You know, it's very, very egoistic to hold on and say it's me, it's for me. No, share it because somebody out there needs your solution, needs to hear it, because somebody is somewhere where you used to be and we need to scoop them out. So finding purpose, you need to really look within, because we can't find it anywhere outside. No, it's always within you, within yourself. So you need to pause, breathe, and sit with yourself and really start to connect the dots.
Yeah. And so for someone who is watching and has gotten to this point and has just heard you and it's like, okay, I'm ready. Where do they start from? What do they do first? What's the immediate step to take?
Okay, so when you unearth that goal, you need to really answer some questions, because how can we take action if we don't ask ourselves some questions, and if we're not clear on what it is that we want to do and where it is that we want to go, right? So to take action, you have to know where you're going. But how do you know where you're going? You need to ask yourself some questions. So for example, the first question to ask yourself, if you're ready, like, okay, and note them down if you have a pen and paper. Number one, what difference do you seek, right? Or what change do you seek to make in this world that is relevant to you, of course, relevant to your story? Because I mean, there are many changes I want to see, for example, the ozone layer, the greenhouse effect, like all these things. Yeah, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about things that are relevant to you and your story. And that's why the unearthing is very important. What change do you want to see in your community? What change do you want to see in the world and in your country? What change do you want to see amongst women, if that's the case, right? What change do you want to see? And that's one. All right, so the next question is, all right, so who do you want to see this change in? Because, okay, we're narrowing it down, right? We're talking about taking action, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Who do I want to see this change in? Write that down. Do I want to see it in somebody that I used to be, right? For example, if I used to be a wife and now I'm divorced, so maybe there's some people that are also going through this thing, right? Or if, you've been through a bankruptcy and you've built your business again from scratch, right? I want to see business owners, right, thrive and so on. So who do you want to see? My who was fellow coaches when I did this really reflection, because that was who I used to be, right? So I wanted to see this change also in people that are having the same struggle. So who do you want to see this change in? All right. Okay. Now the question is, number 3, what do I have? And that's why the goals and dust is very important, right? What do I have that I can help these people make those changes, right? What experiences have I gone through? What solutions have I crafted in the past that I can use to help these people? What is it? And the last question, how? How can I implement these changes? And now you craft your offers, and now you craft your packages, you craft your courses if you're doing trainings or something like that. So these 4 questions are really the beginning stages of identifying what it is that you want to do, who it is that you want to do it for, and how. So now you can so now that I know these questions, these answers, I can now make a plan moving forward.
Absolutely. Veronica, as I'm watching and listening to you, I'm thinking, do you have a book on this thing you've just spoken about? If you don't, I think you should totally write it.
Hey, okay. Oh, it's been at the back of my mind, but yeah, I think you're like the 10th person who's told me.
Well, then
the universe, Veronica. Another sign. Amma has said it. Who else?
It's really good. I think it's a brilliant strategy. It helps people, you just follow it step by step, and it's simple. And I bet in your book you're going to use examples and
stories, definitely.
I will definitely write it. So when should we expect the book? Maybe next year. So everybody listening, please expect this book coming. It's probably called The Gold Dust Effect, or I don't know, but it's coming. And we are praying.
Okay.
Because I believe this book is going to help so many people. A lot of times we are always hearing, find your purpose, X, Y, Z. But what you've just explained, it makes it so simple. I'm sure in practice it won't be as easy, but at least it gives you a framework to work with. And that is really important and practical. For a lot of us, that's what we need to start. So for our sake, Write that book.
Okay, I've heard.
So now let's say for the person who has now found what it is that they need to do, they've identified their target market and all. You know, one of the biggest issues, yesterday I was talking to a fellow coach and she was like, oh, my goal for this year is that I wish I didn't have to do so much marketing and I would be able to get people chasing me and asking me for business and all. We know that it takes a lot of time and effort. And you promised to teach us the Enrollment Alchemy. What is that and how can we use it to reach our target market?
Wow. So you see, we all want to have a flood of clients coming in and so on and so forth, right? So you need to go back to the basics before we even get to the enrollment alchemy. We go back to the basics. Do you have all your ducks in the row? Do you have all your bricks set? Are you clear on who your niche is? Are you clear on who your soulmate client is? Right? Depending on, of course, what kind of service provider you are. I have this really strongly rooted belief that, especially for coaches and consultants, service-based business owners who really want to make a difference in the world, their ideal client or their soulmate client is them. Your ideal client is you. That's it. 99% of the time, it's you. That's why it's very important to go back into your gold dust and unravel who your ideal client is within the debris of your lost stories. That's where she is. It's like sometimes finding a needle in a haystack, but it is possible when you have focus. Sometimes we look for ideal clients outside of ourselves, you know, oh, where's the money? Who has the most money? Who has the most purchasing power? Even though, yes, those things may be relevant, but then you get overwhelmed with marketing. For me, marketing is not overwhelming. It has to be fun. Marketing for me is just irresistible communication, period. That's what marketing is pretty much, you know, how you communicate effectively and irresistibly with your target audience, with your ideal clients, so that they you know, get attracted to you because your messaging is so clear, it's so clean, it's aligned with exactly your pain points. So the natural attraction comes without any paid ads or anything. When you amplify your voice on social media and you speak their language, they come to you. So really starting from that is if you're overwhelmed with marketing, is your messaging right? Are you speaking their language, or are you stuck in your own head with assumptions of what you think is the right thing to say? Are you speaking to your ideal clients? Are you taking notes on exactly what their needs are? Are you using the exact words that they said when you were interviewing them or listening to what they were saying? All these things, have we done those things, right? So that when it comes to amplifying our voice and speaking to them on this stage of a platform, whichever social media you are on, that you are speaking their language. Because when you are speaking their language, they will be drawn to you.
Absolutely.
And of course, when you're speaking your language and you're being yourself, the right ones will also be drawn to you. So what happens when they're drawn to you is now enrolling them into your services, into your courses, into your programs, into your packaging. So the enrollment alchemy is how to transform a stranger into a paying client. And you can't do that without what I've just talked about. It's not going to happen. That is like the tip of the iceberg, the final stage where you transform a stranger or a prospect into a paying client who has chosen you to serve them, because they have chosen you. They've given you permission. That, okay, I'm giving you permission that you can now help me. So really, the enrollment conversation, when you are now in that session or in that call with your potential client now, most people make the mistake of talking more than the prospect. They're so kind of excited about the conversation, and they talk about your program or their products and what it can do, what it has, and the prospect is there listening to you. You should not be talking. You should be doing just 20% of the talking, and your prospect should be doing 80%. The whole art of the alchemy in transforming a prospect into a paying client is the art of listening. That's it. By asking the right questions. Of course, I have what I share with my clients, the 12 coaching question framework that we use during enrollment conversations, because there's an art to it, but it's asking those right questions and evoking all the the pain points, evoking the vision, evoking the obstacles, so that it's not you who's saying it, is them. And now your job is to listen and start connecting the dots. So how can my program actually help that? How can my offer actually elevate that pain she's just spoken about, and connecting the dots so that when it does come to the end of the conversation and you're about to tell them how you can help, your language again is aligned to exactly their needs, and they see the value. And when they trust you already because you've shown up, you've been showing up online, you've been creating your content, you've built that relationship, you've told your story, the bridge has been created, they're already there. Now they trust you. They, of course, they see that they see likeness in you, because again, I said you are them and they are you. It's now a matter of time, or a matter of for them to see the value. And that's where, you know, your ability to convey how your program, your services can elevate that pain point, which they themselves have spoken about. It's a no-brainer that they will trust you to serve them.
Yeah.
So the Enrollment Alchemy, transforming a prospect into a paying client, starts from the very beginning of you having clarity on who they are in the first place.
Yes. And then, of course, I love the point about you being yourself. Like, why is it that sometimes we just want to run away from who we are and pretend to be someone else to attract even the wrong kind of person in the first place? Like, if I want to work with you, Veronica, and I know that Veronica is the kind of coach I will see dancing and letting her hair down, and, you know, isn't that even more, what's the word? I'm looking for a word that's not coming, but, you know, in a nutshell, nicer than going to, you know, imagine you pretended to be the stiff coach who is like just looking at me, and I mean, no person.
You'd never reach out to me in the first place.
I'll be like, no, there'll be too much pressure there.
Because I want to look professional. I want to look, you know, if you see me on LinkedIn, you can see me in different shapes and forms, in different situations and different circumstances. You see me in shorts, you see me all made up, you'll see me in whatever, you know, with no makeup or whatever. And I'm like, if I want to show up, I'll show up how I want to. That's why I have an issue sometimes with the branding thing. Yeah. I'm like, I know the idea of branding, there has to be consistency in the colors that you use and all those things, and cool, but I'm so versatile that sometimes I want to feel free to do what I want. And maybe that's part of the brand, I don't know, but no, I can't be limited.
That is totally part of your brand. So like a couple of days ago, I was telling someone that, yeah, there are times I want to be in the high heels and be all ladylike, but there are a lot of times I just want to be in my boots, you know, and it's all part of my brand. Yeah. Sometimes I want to be in the long earrings. Other times I want to be in smaller ones. It's okay. It's totally okay. So yeah, I totally feel you on that one. You've given us so much already. I feel like we've shared. I mean, even if people watching now, I'm not going to go further with you right away. I feel like you've given us so much even to work with from now. And for that, I want to say thank you, but I'm not ready to let you go yet.
Uh-oh.
A few more questions, and so they are sort of fill in the blank sentences where I ask and then you just say what comes to mind.
Okay.
The shortest possible sentence. So the first one is, if I could advise my younger self in one short sentence, I would say,
oh, love yourself more.
I love that.
Yourself more.
I love that. And that's something, I'm still on that journey, but it would take me so long to even discover that I existed in the first place. And I martyred so I could also start to love myself. So I love that. And that is so true. If anyone is listening, please, this is not cliche. No. Everything starts from we loving ourselves, because we really matter that much. You know, just recently, sorry, and I'm bubbling, but
no, please, I love it.
I was just thinking of how sometimes, you know, you maybe fall in love with someone and they are ignoring you and they are not loving you the way you feel you deserve, and you become so pained, and people go to the extent of doing things to themselves, damaging themselves because somebody is refusing to love them. Yeah. But the question is, are you even loving yourself? Because if you can love yourself, lady or gentleman watching me, it won't even matter if that person is loving you or not, because you're already precious to yourself. And for me, it took me so long to get to that point where I finally realized, Mama, like, you are not loving yourself. So can you just stop it already about how people are taking you for granted and all that? Anyway, I'm babbling. But
no, we definitely, we need to have another conversation about relationships and love. That one for sure, because I have a lot to say there.
Hey, this is me dancing Shuperu as I await the next one.
No, seriously, because it's a big issue, even amongst even us professionals as women who are even strong women. We've done it, we've made it to some point, and we're independent, and we have some love issues, and it's something that we need to address.
It's so true, and my goosebumps is just coming. It's like
the
Holy Spirit is like, yes, Amma, that's it. Okay, next question. I am fabulous because
myself.
Oh man, I am just doing this for you right now.
It's like, I love these, it just flows, and like I'm really not thinking about it. Like you said, just answer this question, Veronica. Like, don't think too much. And that's, because I am me, and there's no one else like me.
Yeah, absolutely. And the final question is, one book that has greatly helped me in business is?
Business. You'd be funny. You Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
I love that book too. I love it. Yes. Good. Okay, so now you've told us a lot about what you do and all. Currently, what exciting stuff are you doing that you want us to be a part of, that we should know about?
Oh boy, I'm coming to Ghana on the 19th of May. Did I tell you?
No, and we are meeting, right? Because
we are. And I'm going to, are you in Kumasi or Accra?
Okay, currently I'm in Accra, but hey, wherever I am.
Okay, we'll talk later on. So this is the whole deal. My next project is the Gold Dust Effect project.
Okay.
And what I'm really looking to do is to, so I digress a little bit. When my father passed away 2 years ago, and we were at the viewing in his village in Kumasi, just in the outskirts to Trefu. And as I was going down around, the viewing and the body, I was like, I made a promise. I was like, you know what? I'm coming back here and I'm going to do something great in this village. I'm going to do something. I didn't know what it was then, but I want to come back and I want to do something, build something, give back. I want to do something here. And that was my promise to him. So after those years and I gained more clarity, I want to go back there and implement the Gold Dust Effect, where we'll gather a group of women starting from that and really start unearthing their gold dust so that they can create packages and services that they can deliver and use their gifts and talents to really be of service. Very often I realize back in Ghana, what many people do is they set up convenience stores here and there. There are so many convenience stores. That's like the first business, open a shop, right? But right now I want to look at how we can use your gold dust, right, to create services that can impact the community, that can grow each other, and that can also create a ripple effect. And so that within the community, we grow, we flourish, we thrive, we support each other by using our own gold dust. And we, of course, make an impact and also increase our opportunities to increase our income as well. And so that's something I'm looking to do. So
that is just so beautiful. Gosh, that is so beautiful. And if anyone is watching and they want to be a part of it, please give us the permission, give us the opportunity, because that is so amazing. We can learn from it. And of course, we would love to also, just, in the Fabulous Woman community, we've got all these amazing women. I am sure there is something we can all offer, including myself, to support this.
Yes.
It's really beautiful. Please involve us. And yes, we are definitely meeting.
Oh, yes.
Wherever we are meeting somewhere.
Yes.
We can teach a dance or two.
We're going to do a dance together. How can you know me to do a dance? Do a dance. I'm going to make you popular on LinkedIn. My dancing partner.
So how do we find you, Veronica?
So, well, I'm on definitely LinkedIn is my virtual office. I call it my virtual office because that's where my main presence and focus is. So if you go to Veronica or VPower Coach or Veronica Owusu, you'll find me there. But also on Instagram, if you hashtag VPower, I'm also looking to grow my presence on Instagram. That's like my second place. And so VPower Coach, just hashtag VPower Coach anywhere on social media.
Yeah.
Or of course my website, vpowercoaching.com.
And I'm definitely going to add all the links for your course and your website and your freebie and everything to the caption. So anyone watching can just click on it and then go check it out. And then you mentioned the Conversations with God book as well. I'm going to look for it and then add, because you never know, somebody might be needing to have that conversations with God. But Veronica, you are amazing. You are amazing. You are doing so amazing. God bless you. God bless you. And I know, God is blessing you already. God has blessed you. And you're going to touch so many people because of you. So many people are going to find their own gold dust, which they've been burying in those mats. We are going to take them out. And we will really get to the point where we see more women in Africa rising up and helping others and blossoming like we need to, because we've really got all the talent and everything we need right here. We've got all the resources are available to us. We just need to do what we need to do to make things happen. So I just want to say thank you so much for taking time off your busy schedule, even getting this you have not been funny, but I'm so grateful. And let me just mention, so you are also offering free clarity calls, right?
Yes. So if anybody's interested, of course, I'm offering a 40-minute free clarity call where
40?
Yeah. Well, between
What? That is
yes. Do you know how? Yeah. I'm a deep diver. I can't do anything in 15 minutes. What am I going to do in 15 minutes or 30 minutes? Like, that's when you're trying to enroll somebody or you're trying to, of course. But in this case, so 40 minutes and discovery call. Of course, if they find any value in it, there's always an option of working together. But
absolutely, yeah. And so I'm going to add the link for that as well. So please check her out and let her be a blessing to you, ladies or gentlemen. Do you work with men as well?
Yes. So even though my messaging is aligned with women, right, and that's just the messaging, that's the fear of missing out. Everybody fears missing out on other opportunities. No, I'm targeted at women, but of course, people know that there's value that I could bring into their lives as well. So I also work with men.
Absolutely. Good. So yes, I'm going to add the link. Thank you so much. And my regards to your beautiful kids, your family.
Thank you.
And we are definitely doing this again sometime soon.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Amma, for having me and, allowing me to use my voice on your platform and sharing it with your people and your community. So thank you.
My pleasure. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, were you blessed as much as I was? Like, I just kept having goosebumps upon goosebumps because I was having my own aha moments. Let me know in the comments, did you have any aha moments yourself, or did you have an insight or perhaps a business idea? Or was there a question that you've been asking yourself for so long that you got an answer to, or anything that got clarified for you? Please let me know in the comments. What was your biggest takeaway from this conversation with Veronica? I had so many aha moments from, discovering my purpose and clarifying my purpose and messaging and being myself, being my fabulous self on and offline, no pretense, just being all of me with makeup. I totally enjoyed it and I hope you did. So yes, do not go until you put something in the comments and let me know what you got from this conversation, your biggest takeaway. I've also in the comments put all the links that were mentioned. Please do check them out. Click and please book that clarity call for 40 minutes. That is a lot. So much can happen within that 40 minutes that you have this conversation. I wish you the very best in whatever it is that you're doing. God is already helping you. You have access to him, same way I do, same way Veronica and every other great person that we see and we admire. We are all that great. Yeah, you, me, we are all great. And there is something in us that God has put. There's our gold dust, yeah, that is meant to be a blessing unto the world. And look, here's the thing. If there is something in you and I am meant to receive it to be a better person, you better bring that thing out so that I can keep growing and be who God needs me to be. Don't sit on it with your bumbo. Get up. You can do it. You can do it. Get up and go for it. And if you're already on that journey, I am wishing you the very best. I'm rooting for you. I'm praying with you. You're succeeding. Everything you put your hand, go walk. Have you heard that song? It's my latest favorite. Everything you put your hand, go walk. Amen. Anyway, let me leave you now. Have a great day. Bye.